What's up, peeps? Healthy people? You're in the right place because you're at Raw Vibrant Rejuvenation. Thank you for joining me. If you're new here, my name is Kyle, where you come to this show and we'll discuss health, we'll discuss wellness, we'll discuss a healthy lifestyle, regeneration, rejuvenation of the whole organism here that we have, this temple, this body temple. So, if you come here, I'm going to teach you how to recalibrate and reinvigorate yourself um, naturally. And that's why it's such a, this is a pretty special video for me because, I haven't made like a real one in a long time. And this one is very, this needs to be shared. So I hope you get something out of this. Uh, yeah, this one was big for me, you know, and this is how I eliminated asthma from my life. And I was pretty much born with it from when I was 2 years old all the way up until not too long ago. I had it. So there's a whole lot of things. I'm going to try to cover it here in a pretty concise manner and a kind of a shorter video. Uh, there's a lot of factors. It's not just changing your diet, and it's not just this, and it's not. It never is with health, with healing. It's never just a one. You take a pill and it's cool. You're good. It's never just one thing. You can't just work on one thing. It's a holistic thing. Health is a holistic process, and that's just. I want you guys to, when you're thinking of how you can get healthier, how you can reverse some issues. Uh, you got to think holistically. You got to think holistically. You got to go back to nature, and you got to kind of study nature. What would nature do? Nature would do the whole process. It wouldn't skip the things that are hard or difficult. It wouldn't, you know what I mean? Uh, so that's it. And like the first thing with healing anything, it's you gotta lose the identification with it, which I didn't have much of it, but I did have to some extent. I still had some identification with it, like, oh, my asthma, or oh, I have asthma, right? And that's what you got to lose right away. You got to lose that stuff, and you got to believe. You got to believe that you're going to get well. You got to, even more so than believing, you got to know. You got to feel that you're getting well. You got to feel the improvements. It's not always going to be overnight. And for me, it certainly wasn't even close to overnight because it was a very gradual process. Um, but I knew what I was doing was right. I was going back to nature, and I knew I was eliminating this issue from my life. So yeah, because for me it was, I had to, for many years of my life I was taking all sorts of drugs for the asthma, like different inhalers, different pills, and then 12 years ago I started, organic and non-GMO and doing a lot of good stuff, but I didn't start the totally raw thing and the fruit and the serious committed fasting and the serious work to like 4.5 years ago. That's what really accelerated the process. So don't do what I do, and don't go halfway into the, oh, I'm gonna go and, sometimes you can. Sometimes just changing your diet in some ways will help, but for super acute and chronic things, super embedded things, um, you gotta you gotta go a little deeper. You gotta go, for me, I had to go a lot deeper. So um, yeah, I was, you know, when I started doing the fruit and the raw journey, I still had to use my inhaler, but it was very little. But after a while, I stopped using it. I stopped using it because I knew deep down inside that I was healing, and yeah, of course, the diet plays a very large role. The lifestyle, I guess I'll go into the lifestyle a little bit later, but the diet is huge. You gotta, you gotta, if you want to get away from asthma, guys, number one thing is you got to eliminate dairy and stuff like that. And that didn't even totally do it for me. So that's what I'm saying. But no matter what, you gotta eliminate the dairy. Number one, you're gonna want to eliminate the grains. I would say the grains. Number two, the meat. Number three. Those are the things you got to eliminate. Eliminate those oils, or if you're gonna have some oil, have a good quality organic cold pressed oil that you uh, don't have too much of. And you got to go to whole foods, whole real foods in their natural form, organic with no pesticides, hopefully grown with love and care, hopefully ripe, definitely ripe. You need ripe fruit. You need ripe fruit, which is, gosh, it's so hard to find ripe fruit. Anywhere I go, it's hard. So you got to find that if you really truly want to heal. If you really want to heal, so you want to go raw vegan. You want to do that if you really want to heal, because when you have raw, uncooked foods, that's what raw food is. It's uncooked. When you do that with cooking, you're killing some of the life, and you want life. If you're trying to heal things, you want more energy and more life. So, in short, that's what you do, and you're going to want to educate yourself. You're going to want to get into the learning about the lymphatic system, right? Your body actually has a system that, despite what the medical people think they know, the lymphatic system is your sewer system of your body. So you want to learn about the different parts um, of healing, and you want to learn about eliminating things from your body, especially your lungs, if you're having uh, breathing issues, right? So um, I'm going to keep it short with the diet, but I know a lot of you guys might be new, a lot of you guys might not. But if you're new, just check out some of my other videos or send me a message if you have questions. But just remember, you want fruits and vegetables, and as a whole, just a nice gradual approach is good. You don't always have to go 100% raw or 100% fruit, but it depends on how sick of it, how sick of not being able to breathe are you? Like, how much of it is it affecting your life? So then you can go and you can do some, you know, really clean eating, and then you'll see when you go back to eating the other foods, it's gonna affect you, and you're gonna see that was the cause. That's the thing, is the foods that are creating the mucus in your body, which I named earlier, the milks, the cheeses, the uh, the grains, the oils, the meats, eggs, the protein, anything with a lot of protein, that stuff is going to create mucus in your body. It's just a fact. And once you go down these roads, and especially when you start doing some fasting, you will notice that wow, that's the stuff that's creating the mucus and the discomfort in my body. That's the dis-ease. There's only one dis-ease, and it's mucus, toxins, and unbalanced emotions and unbalance, right? So you'll just start to discover this stuff when you go down into this journey, when you take it on. And it's really important to do some fasting. I've done a whole lot of water fasting to totally wipe it away all the way. Water fasting, juice fasting, dry fasting, I've done so much, but I recommend mostly juice fasting. And if you research some water fasting and you know what you're doing, slowly chip away at that, right? So I just, yeah, that's part of it. A big part of it is that. So, um, hmm, yeah, the diet. It's it's a process, guys. It doesn't always happen overnight. And I do want to mention that it's not all, like I said earlier, it's not all just the diet. It's also the emotions. It's like the lungs. It's, a lot of people say I think they do. I definitely have a lot of sadness that I've mostly eliminated. Although sometimes you get deeper and deeper down these into yourself, and you just start to see more and more layers, and it's like, oh my gosh, is it ever going to end? But it is ending, and you are getting healthier. And the lungs have sadness, guys, and so I've dealt with a lot of stuff to really get rid of this, like just the sadness from my childhood, sadness from parts of my life, sadness for not getting what I needed, for not getting fulfilled in some ways, and I've I dealt with that a lot. The pain, the pain. I've dealt with the trauma. When you have to deal with the trauma when you're healing, that pain body. Maybe not even all that pain is your pain. Maybe you've dealt with a lot of your pain. You, but you're gonna still need to deal with it. You're gonna deal with your own pain, but there's also the collective pain, right? So it's a beautiful creation, and it's very intricate and complex. But it's also at the same time, that's the irony of life, and this beautiful creation is, it's also super simple, and that's what you guys got to take that down in your notes. Healing is so simple, because nature's complex, but it just does all the work. If you just follow the guidelines of nature, you're going to be cool, you're going to be taken care of, and you're going to feel great. And um, yeah, so there's that. So you really gotta lose the trauma stuff. You gotta lose the, if you have any victim mentality, any victim, you gotta lose that. These are the sorts of things you must work on and face and deal with, and not go and get a bunch of, cheeseburgers and ice cream when it's going bad, right? Of course, if you do have slip ups, that's okay, but you gotta accept that and be nice to yourself. That's the most important thing when you slip up. But you, but my point is you can't run from things. Just face yourself and just close your eyes, and everything is inside. You just go inside, and you are you realize that everything's okay every time that you go inside. If you just take the time, put your phone away, get into nature, you know what I mean? Take your shoes off, take your shirt off, get into the sunshine, breathe some fresh air, and be by yourself. You don't always need to be with people, and then you realize like it's all good, So, so there's that. Um, it's very important to do that, right? Very important. And the lifestyle, like the lifestyle is important too. Like it's not just the diet, it's not just the trauma work and all this, it's the lifestyle, guys. Learning how to, yeah, like I was saying earlier, getting into the elements, getting, maybe get a rebounder. That's a really good way to move your system, your lymphatic system. If you're in a pretty good state of health, get a rebounder and jump. If you're really sick, I don't recommend using a rebounder, but for people who are in a decent state of health, then yeah. So you gotta just look at your life, like your lifestyle, like your sleep. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you going to bed? Are you in tune with nature as much as you possibly can in this hectic world, right? You got to look at your lifestyle, your relationships, your every little thing is so important when it comes to this. Um, Also, I wanted to mention that asthma is actually your nervous system. It's a neurological issue. So, like, you need to be able to sleep. You need to you need to get yourself to rest. Just rest. Even if you can't sleep, rest. Let your nerves rest, because if your nerves don't rest, you're not going to heal. You're not going to feel good, A, and B, you're not going to have the electrical energy to eliminate these this stuff that's bogging you down. You got to have that energy, and those fruits and the vegetables, in their raw, uncooked form, they have that energy to help push out what is not belonging, to eradicate what is you know eradicate the pest, so to speak. So yeah, you gotta let your nerves rest. It's Asthma is a neurological issue. It's a neurological issue. It's not just a neural. It's a holistic thing. It's also could be you have trauma here or here or here, and then it's blocking this and that's blocking that, or it's you have mucus all in your lungs, or yada yada yada. It's health is not a intellectual thing. It's really not. It's a simple thing, and humans get a little too in there trying to understand everything, but really, that's you can't keep trying to understand everything. You just have to pay attention from an observation standpoint, from someone that is just witnessing. Okay, so that's okay, this is what happens when I do that, that's what happens when I do that. So yeah, I just like, this is really important, like, information. I hope that if someone, someone who has asthma, like, send them this video. Like, it's all about just reworking your lifestyle. One more thing about the food and the lifestyle that I must say is also, I stopped eating. Like, I would always just eat and eat and eat and eat. I eat so much less now. So sometimes I still eat, and I do eat. I do like to eat 3 meals a day a lot of the time, or juice in the morning and then 2 meals later on. I mean, not always, but I'm sorry. Like, no one, for the breatharians out there, like, I don't care if I'm gonna get judged or whatever, but that's food is good. But my point is, like, is I know, like, the less that you eat and the more that you are not eating these acid forming foods, the mucus forming foods, then you're going to notice that you have more, you can fill more air in your lungs. You can breathe more. I know it sounds stupid, but eating less, doing everything less, just less, and just paying attention and just watching the miracles unfold. And yeah, those fruits and the vegetables, they are the key to this healing your asthma. It will go by. It will go bye if you just focus your energies on being as wholesome as you can and being in line with nature as much as you possibly can, because nature will never do you wrong. And yeah, this one is near and dear to me because um, it's just like, before I would have to go hiking, I would have to use it just one puff, right? I was for the lat for for a long time I was using one puff a day, and it was like really beating me up. Um, but after a lot of water fasting and a lot of other things, like the last 2 years, I barely used it, and it's usually only if I'm around, like some burning plastic, like some incense. If I'm breathing chemicals in or carcinogens in, then I will be affected, right? Sometimes, sometimes. So it's hard. Another thing is, um, yeah, because I was trying to say 2 points, right? Like, there's, I would have to use it like that, or I would have to use it like, the big thing was always before bed. Like, I just, like, it was such a mental attachment. Like, but sometimes these mental attachments aren't easy to break overnight. And looking back now, I see how it took so long. But now I don't have to take it to go to bed, right? And and the longer that goes on like this, it's just, I'm so grateful. So it's really important to just let go of any mind attachments to anything. Just uh, let go of anything of that you think that you need this, you think you need to do that, or things need to be this way, or you need this, or I don't know anything. And um, and I am nothing. I am nothing, and I will be happy. For these crazy people that are doing the things in the world now. Like, I'm not going to get into it, but I am nothing. I am nothing in everything. It's the beautiful, sweet, sweet symphony. It's a bittersweet symphony, though, because you have it all. But the trick is to try to stay in the middle of the duality. So I'm not going to get into these spiritual whatever rants that I get into on this video. Um, but this is, yeah, like, you gotta figure out how to just get into that divine flow. You get into the divine flow, and for me, it was like, for so many years I was like, I know I'm not going to need to use this, and after a while of being that powerful, it just kind of drops off. Like, nature kind of does this thing. It's so intelligent. It's such an intelligent force that it just, things break off that aren't useful, right? Things will fall to the wayside that are no longer useful. But you also have to sometimes make big efforts, right? And so that's it. That's this 10-minute. I thought I could do a 10-minute video, but it's really hard. It's really hard when it's like something like this. You know what I mean? So if you got something out of this, it does make me it makes me feel pretty good, and it makes me inspired to keep doing this. Yeah, like it, put a comment. Like I said, subscribe if you like, or share it to someone that has asthma. Because just if you have asthma, just I'm telling you guys, don't do, don't just like before all this other things that like before I got into eating organic and eating a lot healthier. I tried everything. Like I tried everything, and then throughout the whole time I did, then I'm like, okay, finally, I knew I was supposed to do the raw and the fruit, and now I'm gonna do it, which I could have done. I could have started that 8 years before if I had listened to. But sometimes we're not ready. So just don't do what I did and try all these fad things that don't work, and these pills and these all these everything that doesn't work. Just get back to nature, save yourself some time, some headache, some money, and yeah, wipe away that asthma. That it's not your asthma. It's not you, and it can go away if you just follow the proper steps. You just follow um, what nature intends. Because if you can break the laws of nature a little, but if you break them too much, they're gonna they're gonna they're gonna rattle you. Those you there's certain universal natural laws that like yeah you can have some dead animals if that's what you really want to do. You can have some of this or some of that. You can smoke a cigarette. You can do anything if you really want to do it. But eventually, it's gonna remove your health. And the thing that's tricky that the intellectuals don't understand is they they don't get how well, it's like, well, he smoked and he lived to be 100. Yeah, but was he optimal? No. The people don't understand that the body can get used to any poison or anything because the body's ability, its natural ability, it's or not its natural, yeah, the body's natural, I'm the natural stuff of the body. It just it knows what to do. It knows how to prolong your life at all costs. And sometimes when the clouds just come in like this, like they just did, it really it's I'm very sensitive to it. So I just, anyways, yeah, like just be you. Enjoy your life because we only have now. That's all we have. And I'm gonna leave you with that. It's gone way too long. Let me know how you're doing in this new year. Happy New Year. Peace.